Hi everyone, I'm Lynn, and welcome back to Gardening from Square One. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome to our growing gardening community. Today, I am excited to share 3 essential tips that will empower you to choose the right plants for the right spots in your garden. Whether you're a complete beginner or someone who has experienced the frustration of watching plants struggle or even die, understanding these key factors can make all the difference. My goal is to help you select plants that will thrive and bring beauty to your garden. So let's dive in. Once you discover your USDA hardiness zone, prior to selecting plants, there are 3 essential factors to consider: soil, sun exposure, and water. All of these things help you to select the right plant for the right place. Begin by testing your soil to understand basics like your soil pH, nutrients, and soil type. Knowing your soil pH is important because it impacts the plant's ability to uptake essential nutrients via its roots. Plants that cannot sufficiently receive nutrients tend to be unhealthy plants that are more susceptible to diseases and other issues. Now, your soil will be acidic, neutral, or alkaline, and your plant choices should be consistent with this soil pH requirement. If having your soil professionally tested is not possible, local county extension offices often have agricultural departments that can share general soil information regarding various areas within a county. Soil tests can provide invaluable insights into your soil's nutrient content to help you decide if any amendments are necessary at all. For instance, if your soil is low in nitrogen, you can boost those levels by adding organic matter like compost or manure. If you're dealing with alkaline soil, adding blood meal and or soil sulfur can be a great option. Now, let's talk about the type of soil you have. Is it clayey, sandy, or loamy? Understanding this will help you choose the best plants for your garden. A simple way to get an idea of your soil type is to go dig some of your soil, grab a handful of it, and treat the soil like a ball of Play-Doh. If it sticks together or binds, you likely have clay soil. While clay is often rich in nutrients, it can create drainage issues because it often absorbs water too slowly. Now, to combat this, you may need to plant your plants about an inch or two above the soil line and or add expanded shell in the backfill soil to help with drainage. Failing to do so can lead to root rot and ultimately plant death, which we definitely want to avoid. On the other hand, if your soil is sandy and or rocky, it may tend to drain water quickly and is often lower in nutrients. This type of soil is perfect for drought-tolerant plants like lavender that thrive on excellent drainage and those that prefer poor soil. However, many other plants need sandy soil to be amended in order to flourish in those conditions. Then we have loamy soil, which is a mix of clay, sand, and silt. This soil is a gardener's dream. It is easy to work with, typically fertile, and it strikes the perfect balance between draining well while retaining moisture. Honestly, I wish all of my garden beds were filled with loamy soil. But understanding your soil type, it is essential for making informed decisions when you're selecting plants. So let's move on to the next crucial factor: sun exposure. Most plants have specific sunlight requirements that can significantly affect their growth and overall health. Full sun plants thrive on at least 6 hours of direct sunlight each day. These are typically bright, open areas. Full sun plants are the ones you'll want to consider for these types of spaces. Then we have part sun plants, which do well with about 3 to 6 hours of direct sunlight. Part shade plants also fall into the 3 to 6 hour of sunlight range, but they need protection from the harsh midday and late afternoon sun. Lastly, full shade plants are best suited for areas that receive no more than 3 hours of morning sun. When you are planning your garden, it is essential to keep these sun requirements in mind. I recommend taking time to observe where the sun hits your garden throughout the day. Some gardeners even create sun maps or landscape drawings to track sunlight exposure. I like to use little white flags in my garden to mark different spots to observe how the sunlight hits it over time. The last key factor to consider when selecting plants is water. Just like soil and sunlight, understanding your garden's water needs is crucial for plant success. Different plants have varying water requirements, so it is important to match them to your garden's conditions. It is essential to assess whether your garden receives enough rainfall, which ideally is about an inch per week. If you're not getting that amount consistently, you'll likely need to provide extra water either through an irrigation system, using a hose, etc. However, if you choose water-wise and drought-tolerant plants, they tend to require less water. And remember, young plants often require more frequent watering until they establish their roots. Be really attentive as they get settled in and adjust your watering schedule based upon the weather and the plant's needs. So there you have it, 3 essential tips to help you choose the right plants for your garden. So understanding your soil, assessing sun exposure, and evaluating water needs. By taking the time to consider these factors, you'll set yourself up for a thriving, beautiful garden that brings you joy and satisfaction. Thank you for joining me today on Gardening from Square One. I hope these tips empower you on your gardening journey. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more gardening tips, and feel free to share your own experiences in the comments below. I hope you have a great day in your garden.